We are live.
What's going on, everyone? Happy Tuesday. It's a very happy Tuesday here. Very happy because we're winning. We are winning everything. There's so many wins. I don't know if we're going to talk about this, but Starbucks actually got rid of their open bathroom policy. Now, if you don't remember, in 2018, a couple black gentlemen went in and they didn't order anything. Starbucks like, sorry, dude, you got to go. And that's what they do to anybody. They've done it to me when I didn't order anything. I'm like, no, I'm about to order. I just got to pee before I order. Like, oh, cool, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So they turned into a big racial thing, and Starbucks ended up giving money to some special interest thing that Eric Holder was a part of. Now Starbucks is like, no, policy's gone, which shows you that the whole, race Olympics, the whole, just walking on eggshells to avoid, slandering or defaming or upsetting a protected class. I think those days are over, and we could all look at each other as equals, and we could all be equally kicked out of Starbucks. And I'm happy to see that. I'm tired of this shit, man. It's like, used to have some like semblance of like order, right? Like you could kick somebody out and not think, oh, well, I can't kick this person out because then they'll claim I'm racist. No, I'm gonna kick everybody out equally if you're not utilizing my business, because you got to realize, like, for example, gym equipment, there's wear and tear. So if I let people in my gym willy-nilly and I don't charge memberships, which I do at one gym, and that's a problem. What happens is gym equipment has wear and tear. So do toilets, so do sinks. And if someone's not a patron of that business, they're less likely to take care of your facility. They're going to piss on the seat. They're going to slam the lid, crack your toilet seat. So that's one thing. Another thing is like, dude, it's my establishment. Like, I have the right to refuse service to you. And they're not doing it because they're black. They're doing it because they're freeloading and they're not ordering anything. They were just standing there loitering in the Starbucks. If you're standing in my business loitering, not buying anything, I'm going to be like, okay, after a little bit of time, man, if you're just going to stand here and not order something, we're going to have to ask you to leave. I mean, but it was systemic where you had to walk on eggshells. Like, well, we can't say that to this person because they're gay. We can't say this to this person because they're black. Oh, we can't say this because they're Jewish. Just shut the fuck up. Everybody has the right to be put in their fucking place and to follow the rules.
I hope people realize that none of that helped any, like, labeling everything as racism or labeling everything as misogyny or labeling everything as trans. Like, that didn't help the actual like stopping of racism, misogyny. Like, if anything, it built like social divide against people.
It did.
And I personally don't get it, but very weak-minded people are the people that automatically go to, well, you said that because I'm black. Like, shut the fuck up. I said it to you because you're a fucking dickhead.
Would you talk to a white person like that? Yeah. Sure, I talked to my friends. I mean,
I had to explain that to people. Like, I talk to everybody like this. When we've had to explain it to guests on the show, like, this is how I fucking talk to people. You know what I mean? Like, and people are like, oh, that's horrible. Well, I don't care. Okay. But let's just get back to the point where we can say what's on our minds, because that's another huge thing. That's where it all started. The concept of political correctness is literally where all of that started. Like, it's not politically correct to say this about black people. It's not politically correct to say this about gay people. It's not politically correct to say this about everybody, right? The only people that it's okay to discriminate against, apparently, in America is white men. Like, white men, you're allowed to fucking said it,
They even said you can't be racist against white people. And that makes no sense, because simply by saying the word white people, that's a race. And discrimination against any race is discrimination. Well, they have that institutional, systemically, they're better. It's like, what? What are you talking about? Like, I had it no easier than anybody. Trust me, guys. My life was fucked up. So I just look at this and I always put it to you this way. You ever watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Greatest show ever.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So you're telling me as a white kid growing up where I grew up was better off and had more privilege than fucking Uncle Phil? Huh? Right. Like, I mean, Carlton, like look, man, what we have in this country, we don't have racism, we have classism. Like, you saw that even back in the 90s, the OJ trial. Like, dude, like, come on, man. He killed him. He actually wrote a book about how he killed them. And he got off because, he was rich. He could afford the best attorneys. Like, his attorneys were just insane. He had Cochran, Shapiro. He had old Dershowitz. Like, think about it. Like, normal white folk from trailers or even just middle-class white folk can't afford that. There isn't a race issue. There is a class issue where if you're broke and you get sued or something happens to you where you need to engage attorneys, you can't afford good attorneys. You can't afford the right thing. But if you're rich and you can afford to have the system gamed in your favor, that's where you win. So we have an inequality of defense here. Like if a rich person gets a traffic ticket, they can spend enough money to fight it long enough that they're just going to let it go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and it's wild that we all acknowledge in society that there is a very big difference between like a premier top dollar lawyer and like you can hire a legal firm or a court appointed lawyer, right? Yeah. Like when you hire a legal firm, there's likely 30 people helping work on your case. You know what I mean? Like, and they can just literally destroy the public defender by just like trying to get 100 motions passed, like bury that person, right? Yep. And they're normally paid to just work on your case, maybe one or two others. A public defender is working on a bunch, you know. That's the thing. Like we've got so much messed up in this country, especially when me and you talk about it fairly often about the legal system and also the prison system. It's designed that way. It's designed to make sure that rich people don't have to go to prison. And if they do, they get very, very, very easy sentences and or easy prisons to go to. And poor people are basically used as slave labor and a profit source for the for-profit prison system. And they don't even try to rehabilitate people. And that's our biggest beef. I think both you and I agree that that's the worst part about the prison system is that there's no attempt at rehabilitation. We just let them act like animals in there, which I don't even know how the fuck that happens.
The whole point is reform. Like we're not. Yeah. So our whole prison system is based on reform, but yet they don't treat it that way. So they let these people out of prison. They have no way to earn a living. They have to, not only do you have a gap in employment, but you also have a situation where you have to put you're a friggin' felon on the application. If they're truly rehabilitated, why do we even ask that question? The system is not doing its job, and it's a for-profit system. Look at what Kamala did in California. She literally kept people in prison longer so she can use them as slave labor. Yes, I said slave labor. She was literally enslaving mostly black people.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And then you look at Biden's crime bill, right? Like that how many black people disproportionately did that incarcerate? So I look at the system. People crying racism are the biggest racists.
Oh yeah.
When it comes to equity,
it's been fairly proven that's how it is. Most people believe it, but that's also why the shit died off. Like they just pushed it too hard. Like for fuck's sake, I was shocked in 2021. I think it was. People were like sending me messages like, "Do you stand with BLM?" I'm like, "What the fuck? Stand with what? What are we doing here?" Like I'm old. Like, what are you guys talking about? And they're like, so what do you think about BLM and black people? Depends on the fucking black person. They're like, oh, you might as well just say you hate black people. No, I said it depends on the fucking person because I don't judge all black people the same.
I dislike some black people. I dislike some white people. Yes. I dislike some Latinos and I dislike some Asians. I dislike everybody based on the way they present themselves and interact with me. I don't look, man, assholes come in all shapes and sizes. There is something culturally that I would like to that we've discussed a lot on this show, which is black culture, right? Like what's going on? Why is all this going on? And the number one thing we can link it to, that I can link it to, I'm not going to speak for you, is the lack of a father figure in the household. So if we fix the fact that inner city black children, only 20% of them have a dad in the household, I guarantee you that cultural shift will be dramatic. That cultural shift, like you have to realize, like there was before in the 60s, there was this renaissance with Black America, and something happened, whether it was from the government down, depends which conspiracy theory you want to follow, right? That the way they eroded the black culture is by somehow making it okay to not be a father for your children. And that's something I saw firsthand. Guys, I grew up in that community. So I saw it firsthand. Most of my friends did not have dads in the household. My best friend, freshman, sophomore year of high school, his name was Sean. He had no father in the household. It was him and his mom doing her best job. She had to work, but she still wanted to have a personal life. She still wanted to go out and date and do all this. So half the time he's alone. On weekends, she's dating, right? Like she's a younger woman, had him at a young age. So it just, and then, you know, of course, Sean ended up with a drug problem.
You know,
that's usually how that turns out. And that's why we stopped hanging out.
And it's also, I mean, it's truly like, when you look at how, like, it's weird. Like, people think that like the racism comes from, obviously they blame the Republicans for, and I don't know how the fuck that worked. Like, I really don't. Like, even I knew, even when I was a fairly staunch, like, well, I'm obviously more progressive than considered a conservative. Even I knew that the Democrats are the people that started the KKK. You know what I mean? Like, I honestly felt that, like, back in the 90s, the Democrats were so basically like pro affirmative action and stuff like that, was because they had kind of a guilty conscience and they were trying to fucking help it. Like, but that's because I didn't do my research and realizing like affirmative action is actually like a fucking crippling thing. Like, it cripples people. It cripples entire societies. I
realized that when I was getting ready to get into college. That's why I played football. So I guess it benefited me more than I thought it would. But the reason I started playing football is at the time, the UCs weren't accepting Asians and whites because they were above quota. And so I was like, shit, man, I'm definitely not getting into school with my grades because I'm not that smart. And even if I had good grades, so I knew this is a personal situation. So I'm not citing science. So don't ask for a citation. In my school, there were literally black kids getting into UCs with 2-point-something GPAs and white kids with 4.0s and not getting into the same schools. That's how bad it was. And I'm watching this and I'm like, well, that's not fair. You know, I'm like, and I wasn't a 4.0 student, right? And I was, but once I realized, okay, my only way out of this is athletics, it forced me to call an audible and focus on sports more than school, which actually helped me out tremendously because I learned more from sports than I would have ever learned from the classroom. But yeah, and it forced me to become a man and become resourceful. But what if a kid can't ball? What if a kid doesn't have the ability to put on 70 pounds of muscle between his sophomore and junior year? Like that was, I just found out I had the genetics to do it. But had I not had those genetics, man, I don't know where I would have been, because you can't, look, man, you go far with bad genetics, not that far. So if I had shit genetics, I wouldn't have been able to do it. So you don't understand. In a meritocracy system, you have to understand, in a meritocracy system, that you reward hard work, and you should be colorblind, and we should have to pay for what somebody's ancestors did. It wasn't my ancestors in the fucking 1800s, dude. It was 1996, bro. Like that was almost 200 years after this shit ended, and I'm here worried about systemic racism. Like, I didn't do anything to deserve that, and first of all, I can't afford college either. Throw me a bone. Like, it just that's when I kind of opened my eyes. And then it took me like till I was in college to be like, man, Democrats kind of suck. And that was the time of Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton and the race baiting and the race Olympics. It was just, it was, but I mean, the 90s were a great time because we had those people. No one really listened to them in my circle. We were busy calling each other racial slurs and having a good old time.
Well, that's how we used to speak to each other. And it's, the worst part is I say this all the time. Me and my wife talk about this all the time. When it comes to the pride issue, LGBT community, and it comes to racism.
+46.
No, I don't add that shit. I don't even like adding the T to it, to tell you the truth. And I have T friends, but I don't even like adding.
Well, the T's have completely destroyed the movement of the LGBs.
No. The ADHD is flying for us today, but the T is where it went wrong, and the T doesn't even belong. The T is actually antithetical to LGBT, right? Because LGB, like, so if you're a lesbian, now they literally tried to say that you are a sexual racist if you did not like a trans woman if you were a lesbian. So like, it's wild that they don't even see the difference, because one is a mental disorder that causes the person to feel better about themselves when they present as the opposite sex. Lesbian, gay, and bisexual are sexuality preferences that have nothing to do with mental disorder. It's just a sexual preference. Like, I truly believe that. Now, a lot of people, a lot of religious people will go the
I disagree. I don't think you can become gay. I think you can. I think there is some societal contagion, but I think for the most part, I had this discussion with a field rep. I was doing a sale. I was going on the road with some trucks, going store to store back in the day. Really religious guy driving the truck. We still talk this day, but he was saying how, no, people aren't born. You can't be gay. It doesn't happen. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure you can. Like I always use this analogy. Like if I walk in to a men's locker room, I've seen a lot of naked men in my day being in locker rooms. I'm like, ew, naked dudes, right? Mm-hmm. If I walk into a beach volleyball female locker room, mm-hmm. I'm gonna be pretty excited about the situation. Yeah. So,
like, hello, what the fuck's going on?
You know who's the best at math out of those and statistics is bisexuals. And let me explain. So, as a straight person, you are eliminating 50% of your chance to get laid. Bisexuals, like basically everyone's open game.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that is statistics 101. So if you really want to get some, just be bi.
Yeah.
I wish I was bisexual, man. That'd be awesome. It's like being a switch hitter. Like, oh, there's a right-handed pitcher. Cool. I'm batting lefty. Oh, there's a left-handed pitcher. Cool. I'm batting righty. I think that's what I would do. If I could do it all over again, I'd be bi.
If you could do it all over again, you'd be bi. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm married. I don't think my wife would appreciate me being bisexual.
Yeah.
And then I'd just be suppressing my bisexuality, and that would lead to some tremendous issues.
Oh, that would be bad. That would be bad.
Yeah, so the news.
I feel bad for you.
Well, we started with the news because we did talk about the Starbucks thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Trump has all these nominees, right? And the key is for them to get the vote. So I think Hegseth was on deck today, and that was hilarious.
That was hilarious, bro. Here's what I don't get. Okay, so dear Democrats, look at who got approved for Biden. It is literally a mental disorder circus fucking show, right? Like literally, it's very fucking bad. Of people that did horrible ass fucking jobs. Like, remember how Pete Booty Juice or whatever the fuck his name is fucked up transportation, and you had the fucking Richard Levine, who is a fucking mentally ill fat man in charge of fucking chronic illness and fucking mental health in America. Like, it was a very bad. So when the majority of the country voted for Trump, far more than what people even think, because I still think that they cheated to a certain degree to make it look like it wasn't just an absolute fucking slaying.
Absolutely.
Because, and the thing about it is I keep seeing people on the left still act like they're the fucking vast majority. Like people, like I see these TikToks and Instagrams where people like, oh, you Trump voters understand? Like, shut the fuck up. Like right now they're trying to cancel Carrie Underwood for
I will not let it happen.
Not only that, but like, you think she's worried? Like, I mean, you think you guys are the vast minority, right?
Alan, her 15 minutes is, to be honest, like kind of over, right? So, I mean, she's already made the money she's going to make. She's going to live off of the royalties from when people play her songs. Like she's uncancelable right now because she doesn't care. Like, and newsflash, she's a conservative woman in Tennessee.
Yeah.
What did you think she was? Did you think, look, now there are your Taylor Swifts here and there, which I think is completely manufactured. I think she made a deal with the devil to get that popular because there's no reason someone with that flat of an ass, that flat of a chest, that mid of a face, and I'm saying that I think she's attractive, but she's not hot. Carrie Underwood, like, man, I would eat cheesewood off her butt cheeks. Like I would just, the spray cheese, the can, I would just lick it right off. And did I say that publicly? Oh, my bad.
Yep.
But so Carrie Underwood's hot, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you know, where Taylor Swift's attractive. Like she's nice, right? She's nice. And she's an okay singer. And she can't dance worth a shit, even when it's choreographed. How are you telling me that Taylor Swift is going to be more popular than someone with a better voice, better presentation? It's because Taylor Swift made a deal to promote these ideals. And I really believe this happens. I really believe this happens. And they're like, look, we need you to do this. You're the one. And you see that like remember the boy bands? Those guys, they didn't know each other. They weren't like bros growing up.
No.
They'd get them. They'd be like, you fit this role. You fit this role. You fit this role. Go sing bye, bye, bye. And you're good to go. I have no doubt that Taylor Swift is not like an organic phenomenon. She is something that was propped up by people who could prop it up and put into the right algorithms, and she blew up because of that. And
machine.
It's big music.
Well, I mean, it is. It's big music. Like that's the whole and even country music got to be that way for a while because like all of a sudden it's like dude, these guys are looking awfully like boy bandish to be country stars. Like I grew up with like like Johnny Cash and like Hank Williams and the Roughnecks, basically the country outlaws, like Waylon Jennings and fucking Charlie Daniels and shit like that. I've seen most of those guys, by the way, perform live. And Daniels put on a fucking great ass show, but it's like this thing that they push. It's like they decide if you're going to be popular. One more time, we talk about Lady Gaga all the time. Like there's no reason why she's popular. None. Her voice, without auto-tune, her voice sounds like shit. She's an ugly person. Like she's not physically attractive. And I don't give a fuck what people say. She's not. But it's just this thing where they've been able to control the narrative for so long. They decide who's famous. They decide who's not. They can crush you. If people start liking you, they'll crush you. They proved that with the one comedian when they said like, your fans will think you're a crackhead by the time you get off this plane. What's his name? I
don't know, but I remember what they did to Kevin Hart when he tweeted back in 2012 that he'd hit his kid if he found out he was gay or something. They resurfaced that tweet, and then he couldn't host, I think it was the Grammys. So, and I've said some shit, dude. Like I've said, and so I had to go back when I went on American Grid on Fox, and that was before I was on Twitter, else I would have never gotten on that show. And I remember they had me, I had one tweet because I'm a fitness guy, and it was a joke about Hillary Clinton's cankles. And so before you go on this, so before they presented me the producers, the people, the scouts were like, okay, we're going to go through your social media, and if there's any alarms, we'll let you know, and you can scrub it. I'm like, cool. And it was like something about Hillary Clinton's cankles. I can't remember what it was. You got to scrub that. I'm like, but I got a joke about George Bush in there. I didn't say that. Yeah. But they didn't give a shit. I said George Bush looked like Curious George the monkey, kind of. Right. And this is how I tweeted in the early 2000s. Okay. Right. And no, Hillary Clinton's cankles, which I think had a total of 100 views. They made me scrub it because you can't talk about the establishment.
Wow.
And that's when I learned that. That's when I was like, oh. And then I learned they were old Jews. That's one thing I did learn. I've said that story, but I walked into the room, the final casting call, the final interview, and it's when you get to meet all the producers, right? So I'm walking in. There's 7 people. I think there was 4 females and 3 males, and they all looked Jewish. Like I'm talking like they looked like the fucking memes, bro. And I'm like, "Wow, you're all Jewish." I said it, and they're like, how'd you know? I'm like, I have a sense. They're like, are you part of the tribe? I'm like, yeah. And then they put me on the show. Like,
that's awesome.
One for the Jew. But I was like, you're all fucking, like, you're all Jews. It was for some, but see, a reality show, they want someone who's kind of like that. But I don't think a Gentile could have gotten away with that. It's like saying the N-word, right? Like Jews would be like, how's a Gentile saying this? But I knew, like, these people were so fucking liberal. And this was Fox, right? Before Fox was really Fox. Actually, no, it was Fox, but it wasn't Fox. Hannity was on there, but that was before the extreme polarization, right? It was polarized, but not as much. It's like 2015. So it was just, look, man, I know how the machine works. And there's no way Taylor Swift is an organic phenomenon because she's just not that good. She's just not that good. I like some of her songs. I will sing some of her songs. I'm not mad at Taylor Swift. I'm a fan, like not a fan, but I like her music. But to think that she's the best we got versus if you're putting her head to head with Carrie Underwood. Now I have this big Carrie Underwood hate going on Twitter, and they're calling her anti-vax. Not sure where she got that. I didn't know she was anti-vax, but you guys didn't have to convince me. I already liked her, you know?
Yeah. No,
like I'm already in love with her. Like, come on. Now I want
already a restraining order, you know?
I want her to impregnate me. That's how much I'm in love with her now. So I think I got to pull up the tweet. This guy called her like MAGA Barbie or something. I don't think that's really a friggin' insult, but I'll find the tweet. But it's like, these people are going crazy about Karen, or she didn't even say she supports Trump. Like, when Bush was inaugurated, I forgot who it was, but a really popular musician at the time, you know, performing at an inauguration should be non-denominational. Like, that should be an American celebration of a new president. Yet that's become political. I never boycotted Jay-Z because I will now because of the Diddy stuff, but like because he was at Obama's stuff. I was like, Jay-Z can rap. I don't give a shit about his political opinions. And I'm a Jay-Z fan.
It's the same thing as what they did before. They tried to make it almost like socially unacceptable if you voted for Trump. Like, they did the whole thing, like, don't go to Christmas if your family voted for Trump. Like, fucking don't go then. Because, here's the thing. Again, the vast majority of people voted for Trump. And it's not necessarily even if that they love Trump, but they want change. One of the reasons why they want change, bro, shit like this right here. Chicago HVAC worker discovers a layer of sleeper cell filled with explosive firearms, IDs, and fake fire and police uniforms.
We're fucked.
Just stumbled across it, right?
Did you hear that Sean Ryan podcast?
No.
Oh, man. He says that there's over 1,000 trained Pakistani, I think it was, insurgents in this country right now just waiting to be called on. There's a woman on there who did this thing on it, and I'm like, holy shit. And Sean Ryan's legit. Like, he's mutual friends with a guy, a really close friend of mine that I have to introduce you to the guy. But because I was introduced to him and I've spoken to him a little bit, and I'm like, I'm watching this, and Sean Ryan's a legit dude, right? And I'm like, holy shit. Like, we are in, if they ever decide to activate these things, I don't think there's anything we can do, bro. I think it's just going to be, you just have to hopefully, that's where the cops can't protect you at that point, and that's why we have 2A. Another thing about 2A, what happens, like, remember the Japanese general in World War II? He was like, you know, the reason we can't invade America is because there's a rifle behind every blade of grass.
Right.
And our only defense against terrorists internally is 2A. Because if terrorists come to my neighborhood, they might get a couple of us, but they're not going to get far. Like, we are armed to the teeth. Like, we are good. I lost all my guns in a boating accident. Yeah,
it was horrible. Both of us.
Do we have to say that anymore? Or do I have to lose them after Trump's out of office?
I'm waiting until the 20th, bro.
There's a chance on the 20th I might go in that lake and find them.
We'll send
and if I do, I'll let you know. And they'll be in perfect condition because you know I had them in waterproof cases when I lost them.
Yeah.
I got to find the Sean Ryan one. That was scary as hell to listen to. But the dude is a straight G. Like, Sean Ryan is a legit dude, local guy, lives right in my area. Like, he's just a legit guy. And I mean, he has some thought-provoking things.
That's awesome.
What's not awesome is the fact that we've and that's
he's
the problem with the
guy,
border. Yeah, that's the problem with the border, bro. The problem with the border is we're not just letting poor migrants over. If you have unvetted immigration, you're going to have people sneaking in who we really don't want in here, trained operatives. That's the scary part.
That's the scary part. I'm also seeing that there's a big push, like, on TikTok right now. Like, you can tell what the social stuff they're pushing, right? But there's a big push for, like, you know, my husband has been here, I have kids with him, and he's getting deported. But, you know, you're separating families. No, they're not. You're the one separating your family. You could absolutely go the fuck with him.
We will not miss you.
Yeah, we are not separating families. You can go with them. I honestly would prefer it. You know, I mean, I know this is hard for people to understand, but if you come here illegally, you should not ever be allowed to come back.
No,
like, ever. There should be no pathway, none.
But if you leave voluntarily, I think you should have a path. If people like, okay, I messed up, I'm going to leave, I'm going to tell you I left, and I just want another chance to do it the right way. I do believe there should be a path to redemption, and that should be it.
I agree with that. If you do it voluntarily, like, look, I fucked up. I want to do this. Like, and even then, that's a gift because, like, if somebody burglarizes your motherfucking house, you don't have a pathway for them to become a roommate.
Yes.
Like there's no pathway to all of a sudden, like, hey, let's just like.
Well, but we need to encourage self-deportation. I think that's a way to do it. And then they just get in line, go to the back of the line.
There's a lot of them that are going to self-deport, and I'm not talking about the people that are getting deported that have jobs and shit like that. Because honestly, I'm sorry, but I get where people are coming from. Like, they've been here for years and this and that. They came illegally. They should go. It's how it is. But those people that are still like basically on our welfare system, which the Biden administration made that shit happen, and I have no fucking idea how they made that shit happen. They're giving these people thousands of dollars of fucking money every single fucking month. It's disgusting.
Yep.
Giving them free hotels, all sorts of shit. It's absolutely gross. But just cut that shit off. And the very second that they pipe up, I mean, we live in a country where people came here illegally. And then when they heard that we weren't going to give them any free fucking money anymore, started protesting in the streets in some cities.
That's what we should have just, that's what we should have just been like, cool, you're out. Like, we found you. We're right here.
That is weak as fuck. Like that they even think that they can do that. That's weak as fuck. That's
what America's become, dude. Like, we have become, and we're giving them, like, here's how you get them to leave. You stop giving them free shit.
Yep.
Why wouldn't you come here if you're getting $10,000 in free cash? Why are we incentivizing? That's like incentivizing someone to rob a fucking Macy's. Like, why would, in what world? But Democrats are such brain dead morons that no matter how absurd something is, they'll follow it. They will go for it because it's what they're told to do. And that's the beauty about the conservative movement right now. Democrats think, oh no, they're falling apart. No, we just hash it out. And then Trump listens. Trump has been listening. And he's like, oh shit, my people don't like this. I'm going to turn. And it's not him flip-flopping. It's him listening to his constituency.
Yeah. And then making decisions. Here's one that he's talking about already. This is from today.
I love this.
Give me 1 second. This is, for far too long, we have relied on taxing our great people using the Internal Revenue Service, IRS, through soft and pathetically weak trade agreements. And the American economy has delivered growth and prosperity to the world while taxing ourselves. It is time for that to change. I am today announcing that I will create the External Revenue Service to collect our tariffs, duties, and all revenues that come from foreign sources. We will begin charging those that make money off of us with trade, and they will start paying. Finally, their fair share. January 20th, 2025 will be the birth date of the External Revenue Service, Make America Great Again. I'm not saying that this means that the IRS will go away, but I am saying that if we are showing that we can have this type of revenue, it creates a much better argument that we should not be taxed. As one more time, we should not, like it. The Constitution itself does not say we should be taxed right now. Like, you
do realize for a majority of this country's history, we did not have federal income tax. And when they did get the federal income tax, it was to fund the Civil War. And it was 3% for the wealthiest individuals. 3%. Dude, so put it this way, top tax bracket is 37%. Then I drive my car, I pay a gas tax. I go to my house, pay a property tax. By the way, if I don't pay, even though my house is paid off, they take my house away. Okay. Then I go to the store to buy groceries, I pay grocery tax. And then if I live in a state, which thankfully I don't, that has state tax, I pay state tax. And don't forget, in some counties, you also have a county tax.
Right.
So most people are paying, actually the people who pay taxes, most of them, we're paying over 50%. Some of us over 60% by the time it's all said and done. So look at it. There was a guy who did an interview. He was from Dubai. They don't have tax.
Right.
They just don't have it. So they, essentially he's saying, so you're telling me that Americans work for 6 months out of the year for free. Think about it. I work 6 months of my year for free for taxes to pay for the government. So essentially that's slave labor. I am literally a slave for 6 months out of the year. That is absurd. That is un-American is what it is. And that's criminal. That's theft. That is theft. Why dude, I complain and I bitch and I could cry all I want. People say, "Oh, shut up." You know, you're wealthy. You're this or that, dude. I'm just saying this, and I don't mean to sound pity party me. I just want a fucking day off.
Yeah.
Like, and I would be able to if I didn't have to pay. See, here's the deal. I have to pay estimated taxes every fucking quarter. Estimated taxes, money I haven't made yet. And if I'm under on that, they charge me interest on money I haven't made yet because I had no idea what I was going to make. So if I have a good quarter, I have to be taxed extra. So I have to overpay this, which is essentially giving the government tens of thousands of dollars that I don't get back, that I just get to apply to the next one, when I could have taken that tens of thousands of dollars and put it in a simple Discover savings account and made 4.32%, which is what I think it's at now. I haven't checked recently, but why are they making the interest on my money? It's just, I could go on for days. Also, if you have an S Corp, do you guys know that if you have an S Corp, you are taxed on your inventory? So one year, I said this on Timcast, 1 year, I think it was the year we started paying ourselves, I paid myself $50,000. I had a tax bill for over $200,000.
Wow, because you had an inventory.
Bro, that was unrealized gains, but they taxed me on it anyway. And I literally so what I did, if you guys didn't know, I sold a company in 2011. All that money was gone because of taxes, because I had to use that money to not only take a risk and start a new brand, but I had to then pay the taxes, not even the inventory. I had to pay the taxes on that new brand. So all that work I did for the first, 10 years of my fucking life, owning a business, building it from 0 to 8 figures in 7 years. All that work I did, gone.
Wow.
Gone. Yes, they tax you on unrealized gains. It's called an estimated tax. So now if you don't, now granted, if you don't make the money, let's say if your company fucks up, so you get it back, but if you but think about it, you're losing the interest you could have made on other investments. So they're stealing and robbing, and nobody talks about this. And it's just, I get so frustrated at times. It's like I'm trying to just on Friday, I'm in a fucking team bus, and I'm at the Air Force Academy. My son's wrestling in the Air Force Academy. I'm in the corner with my laptop plugged in, getting work done, and I realized that if I worked for 8 hours that day, 4 of those hours is for fucking Uncle Sam. How can anybody tell me that's fucking fair? How can anyone tell me that's fair? I mean, I deserve to have time with my kids, but I also worry about paying for could I downsize and fire some employees? Yeah, we fucking could, sure. But then they don't have jobs.
Well, I always, that's the thing that bothers me that they talk about too is we need people to pay their fair share. My fair share is 0, bitches.
How about you fucking work harder, you fucking piece of shit? I'm tired of these fucking Democrats. I'm tired of this shit. This fair share, fuck you. Put your walk a fucking day in my shoes, right? Like my day starts before your day starts. I'm working from the moment I wake up, and then I find time to go to my youth performance facility, which by the way is a passion project I will never make a dime from.
Right.
And it's, man, it's
imagine what could be done if people did not have to pay income tax. First of all,
how much I give to charity?
Oh my God. I mean, shit, dude. I mean, imagine how much people talk about how the work week is fucked up. First of all, you people bitching about 40 hours a week. I seriously shut the fuck up. Just shut all the way the fuck up. My day starts at 5. And here it is at almost 8:00 p.m. And I've worked all day long, and that's Monday through Thursday. Friday is a half day. I only work 8 fucking hours. Saturday is only 5 hours. Sunday is only 6 hours. So please, when you bitch about your 40-hour work week, I don't want to fucking hear it at all.
Alan, I can't wait. I'll send it to you. I have it on private right now. But I did a video on Cali Muscle and his fucking fake shit for tomorrow, right?
Yep.
So one time he called people who work 9 to 5 jobs bots.
Yeah.
Right. He said they're all bots. I said, you know what? Preston. I have fucking Preston. Guys, this is my son. Dad, can you turn Preston, I got your text. The plunge has been turned down to 42. I'll show it to you right now. It's almost there.
Him and Thomas crack me the fuck up. Oh my God.
Preston he's literally Eric Cartman embodied in a human being. Hey, Dad. Preston, I got you, bro. I always read your text, no matter what time of day it is. He just got done with her. So just a heads up, speaking of hard work, this kid gets up at 5:30 every morning before school, lifts so he can wrestle in the evening after school. So he's got that mindset. And that's the thing. Why is he a fucking All-American, 2-time All-American at the age of 11? Because he does that. Because he understands hard work. I don't even know what I was talking about, but what I was saying is, look, guys, if Trump, I'll give you this is a whole new topic. If Trump eliminates the federal income tax, I will literally build a facility for kids to just play. Mm-hmm. I will literally find land, build a building. It'll take me 2 years to acquire the funds, but I will personally fund it. And I will literally just say all the money, I will take all the money I would have paid in taxes. Yeah. And I will put it 100% to that. Give me 2 years, I'll be there. And I will build the most beautiful facility, and it'll have shit for football and basketball and whatever kids want to do, and for place to kids to go and just be kids and exercise and be healthy. And I'll even have a free smoothie bar if they get rid of taxes. There's so much I can do altruistically, because I do it now. I just don't have the resources, because half my fucking money is going to more than half of my money. 60% of my money is going to Uncle Sam. So they can abuse it and give it to fucking illegal immigrants who didn't fucking come in the way my family came in, the legal way.
Well, that's the reason why Doge has to happen. And people are like, oh, it's Elon Musk, blah, blah, blah. Like, we need our government to not just waste our money. Could you imagine if there was no federal income tax? Now, if there was no federal income tax, by the way, I can imagine that the states would all have a little higher of a tax. So, but if there's no federal income tax, you save like what, 30% of your fucking wage, right?
37 top tier. So I think it's what is it? 400 and above is 37.
So, let's say the states all tack on an extra 5% because they're not going to get as much government assistance, and they can be in charge of their own shit, right?
Good, fine, I'll take it.
Yeah, me too. Hell yeah, that's how it should fucking happen, right? So say that they tack on 2 extra percent, so you save 35% more of your fucking money, right? And then they reduce down, we make America healthy again, like as me and you have been talking about for years, and we reduce down the chronic illness burden by like $2 to $2.5 trillion per fucking year. So healthcare insurance premiums drop. There's no more taxes involved in that. So because taxes are gone. So we just cut all that shit down. So now imagine with the trillions of fucking dollars left in the hand of the American people, the wealth that could be built, the entrepreneurship that could be accomplished, the things that could be made, done in America and do. Like, people are always like, well, we need to import everything. Yeah, that's because people can't afford to start motherfucking businesses here. And not only can you not afford to start a business here, but the government, as it is working right now, allows other people from other countries to literally undercut American businesses. It's almost impossible. You have to spend extra money and be dedicated to it. Like the knife. I get knives for all the dudes in my family. I know it's weird. It's a redneck thing. And I sent one to Mark because Mark's my brother.
I love that knife.
But right. It's made by a company right down here in Florida. It's like they do the steel, everything like that. But it's much more expensive than if you would just go to the fucking store and buy a fucking hunting knife, right? But that's because those hunting knives that you get in the store, our government allows China to send that shit over. Like, if we wanted to separate from China, if we really wanted to separate from China, we get rid of our taxes so people can build these businesses here. Because if we don't build these businesses here, we're fucked. Like, I mean, we have to depend on China. You opened my eyes to that about 2 years ago. You're like, it's impossible not to do business with China if you're truly a business person. Right? You
can't.
You can't not.
You have to. Well, everything you use is China. You can't have an American only business. It's like, you just can't. You can't. There's going to be some component of your business that'll be from China. You have no choice. You have no choice. Now there's other ways to, we do as much as we can domestically, obviously, but like, good luck. Good luck. You're spending, like, for example, I priced out gym bags domestically. I think it was like $70, $80, and China landed for just as good quality. It was $8.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
I don't like the slave labor either, but how the fuck? Okay, as a consumer, so it's a gift with purchase. Who's going to purchase something where I can give you $80 of a gift?
Right. How are you going to possibly make that up? Like, how are you possibly going to make that fucking up? It's impossible, right? You know, another thing, like when you're thinking about that the stuff through China, it also points out to me, like, right now, they're like, the left is making fun of Trump for talking about buying Greenland, right? Well, recently, China has said that they're not going to ship us rare earth minerals anymore, like rare earth metals, and that's conductors, everything like that, right? Do you know what Greenland has? Rare earth minerals.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's why really would we not do this? Yeah, it's really cold. But why would we not do that? Okay, so China shuts us off. This is independence from China. This is the goal, motherfuckers. We are not America, land of the free, home of the brave. We are America. We're bent over by China right now.
Yep,
it's
absolutely
true. You know,
real quick, Glamour. If you want to go ahead and type in what your website is, we'll gladly put it on the screen for you.
Absolutely.
For your homemade body butters and oils. I actually use I've been using on my, actually, I think that's one, like, my skin is radiant. So I've been using this beef tallow that my daughter got me on my, and I put it on here, and I also use it as beard oil. Fantastic. Fantastic.
Beef tallow is amazing for you.
Yeah. I mean, my dogs like to lick my face now, which is great. They're like, oh, this guy's tasty.
Awesome.
Yeah. So then what do you know about the nominees, Trump's nominees? It's really fascinating because they're actually really qualified, and the Democrats are just going at them like they're not qualified. And it just seems like they're a really qualified bunch, like Hegseth. I know he's getting grilled left and right, but I think he's overly qualified for the position, especially coming from where we came from.
Yeah. I obviously I know a bit about Kash Patel. I think he would be an amazing person to finally close out the FBI. I know Pete Hegseth. I read up on him because I was not familiar with him, to be honest. And obviously RFK is the big one I'm looking at. I do think that nominating Dr. Oz makes it kind of a fucking clown show, I think that Dr. Oz is like the throwaway that they're not going to nominate. They're not going to like allow to get going. You know, like that they're not going to allow to go through. But. And Tulsi's disappointed me though, because she's now saying that she'll like stand up for warrantless tapping, and that's fucked up. But I think that's just so she can get nominated, you know, like, I mean, and go from there.
She's got to say what she's got to say. Here's Hegseth versus our favorite Native American, Elizabeth Warren. So let's play this clip.
In other words, you're quite sure
this dumb bitch, I hate her. You talk about white people I hate? Here's one.
Yeah.
That every general who serves should not go directly into the defense industry for 10 years. You're not willing to make that same pledge?
I'm not a general, Senator.
You'll be the one. Let us just be clear.
Look at the people laughing.
Generals?
That is so funny.
I love it.
She doesn't even know what the fuck he is.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a general. What are you talking about? I mean, these people. Oh, here's Cernovich. Here's Cerno was tweeting. Oh, I couldn't keep up. I was trying to keep up with Cerno today. So check this out. He's how I feel when people tell me who I'm allowed to talk to on the internet. Listen to this. Just this is why. I mean, look it up. First of all, they all look fucking insane. Yeah. Look at that. Who's this bitch on the left? Kristen Gillibrand? What is that creature?
Yes,
are you willing to support our veterans organizations that will help our veterans get every damn thing that they deserve because they signed on the dotted line?
Wow.
I love it.
That's the left. That's the left. Did you see Nancy Mace threaten to fight that?
I think I have that.
I have it somewhere. I could get it really quick.
I got it right here. I got it.
Oh, it was. She's like, catch me outside. Okay, this
So
bitch.
that people
Okay,
campaign
okay,
conference-
we blasted a white person. I think it's time. This is a black person I dislike, just to make it equitable.
Yeah.
Somebody's campaign coffers really are struggling right now. So she gonna keep saying trans, so that people will feel threatened. And child, listen, I want y'all
I
to
am
tell
no
me
child.
whether or
Do
not
not call me a child. I am no child.
I want
Don't
to
even
find
start.
out
I am a grown
which
woman.
of those
I am 47 years
emails
old. I have broken
actually
more
have.
glass ceilings than you
Chairman,
ever
I
will in
am
your
reclaiming my
life.
time.
You will not do that. I
Order.
am not a
Chairman,
child.
I
am
am
not a
reclaiming
child.
my time.
If you want to take it outside,
Mr.
we can
Chairman,
do
the
that.
committee is not
Okay.
in order.
Order.
That was
Order.
awesome.
Point of order.
Order.
Somebody's campaign coffers really are struggling right now. So
That is fucking hilarious. Yeah, Nancy went to the Citadel. Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, she
Wow.
went to the Citadel. She can
Well,
fight.
I don't think she understands that, like, child is kind of black vernacular. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, come on, child. But I do understand. Like, you don't call your peer. That's like me going. Well, I would going on.
Yeah.
Talking in front of Congress. Listen, bro.
Yeah, listen, bro.
Oh man. I mean, that was just that was fantastic. But I got some vibes. And I want to show you these vibes that I'm getting here. Let me pull up this video. This actually gets it quite perfectly. This is the vibe I got. Let me see if I get it here. Hold on. Yeah, here it is. Okay. Let me see. Let me just share this to screen. Okay, here goes. This is the vibe I'm getting. It's my vibe.
That's why I don't read the newspaper. Because it's garbage. And the editor that let it come out is garbage. Attacking an amateur athlete for doing everything right. And then you want to write articles about guys that don't do things right and downgrade them, the ones that do make plays. Are you kidding me? Where are we at in society today? Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40. I'm not a kid. Write something about me.
Write something about me. I love it.
Oh God, that was a classic one. I'm a grown man. I'm 40.
Too fucking crazy.
Oh God. That was my favorite college speech of all time, man. Mike Gundy in 2007 breaking out the I'm a grown man, I'm 40.
That is awesome.
We need him. We need him in the White House.
Yeah, we need
come at me.
We need a redneck in the White House. I've said it for a long time. We need a redneck in the White House. Like
the college football coaches, a lot of them. There's that dude, he just passed away. I think it was Mississippi State. I can't remember. Guy was a legend in press conferences, just a legend. He would just say the funniest shit. But it's just, I don't know, man. We have to realize our ruling class are retarded. And they work for us. And we need to treat them like the retards they are. They need to do what we tell them to do. We vote them out. That's it. But we keep electing retards, or they keep electing themselves through shady voting processes. There's no way you could tell me that Orange County flipped Democrat in districts that voted for Trump. You're telling me that they voted for Trump and down ballot they voted D? Come on, dude. The days of the mixed ballot is done. If someone voted for Trump, there's a 99.9% chance they down ballot voted Republican, just like I did, just like you did, just like my wife did. That's just how it is. There's no such thing as an on the fence voter. There just isn't. There just isn't, because, and this was so any county that went for Trump in a majority and elected like a Democrat fucking state house member, shut up. That didn't happen.
I don't believe you. I literally don't.
Mike Leach. This was the greatest football coach of all time when it comes to just talking shit. Have you ever heard of him?
Crazy. No, Mike Leach.
Oh my God, Mike Leach. Oh, he was. Oh, here we go. Oh, do you have a? Oh man, it's too. I gotta find it. We'll listen to a couple of them. He had. Oh, here's one. This is Shit, dude. The guy, there's so many of them.
Out there,
there's so many of them that it would literally take an entire episode. The guy was a fucking legend. He was a legend.
Cut the regular season back to 10 games, and you can have some well-placed off weeks. You can have an NIT in between to fill in the blanks, and let's have a 64-team playoff. The champion will play 16 games. And see this guy. I'm not off the mark here. You're off the mark. Everybody else does it this way. And everybody thinks that, I went into a cave and carved all this out. I walked down the street and it was like, baseball, softball, basketball.
He had this one take on weddings.
Coaches, we failed to make our coaching points and our points more compelling than their fat little girlfriends. Now, their fat little girlfriends have some obvious advantages. For one thing, their fat little girlfriends are telling them what they want to hear, which is how great you are and how easy it's going to be.
That's Alan as a coach.
Yeah, that would be me as a coach.
The entire first half, we got hit in the mouth and acted like somebody took our lunch money, and all we wanted to do was have pouty expressions on our face until somebody daubed our little tears off and made us feel better. And then then we'd go out there and try harder once our mommies told us we were okay.
That's back in the day when coaches could be coaches. Then you have Bobby Knight, Indiana, throwing fucking chairs on the court. Oh man, Mike Leach is a legend. God rest his soul. What a fucking legend. Amazing. Dude, like their fat girlfriends. Can you imagine if
right
like
now?
a coach now was like, so their little fat fucking girlfriends. They tell them what they want to hear. He called everyone.
The cancel machine would be crazy.
Mike Leach just didn't give a fuck. Oh my God, what a legend. Yeah, I was go ahead.
No, go ahead, finish up.
Oh no, I was gonna segue.
Okay. Well, I was going to segue also. For those of you that are unfamiliar with the term of "I told you so," Mark and I are going to be getting matching tattoos on our asses that say "I told you so."
I'll be left cheek, you be right cheek.
Of course, of course. I just got to point out that. Whoops, hang on. That
we could talk about that. We just can't say the word.
Yeah, the intramuscular mRNA injections is distributed to vital organs, resulting in systemic spike protein production, which, by the way, nattokinase, if you are worried about spike proteins, but spike protein expression
10,000 FUs a day, guys.
Yep. I do 12, just because at 4,000 FUs. But spike proteins observed in critical organs, including liver, spleen, lungs, heart, head, and kidneys. Even a low doses of 0.0005 milligrams per kilogram systemic distribution of LNPs and translated mRNA was measurable. These data demonstrate that the COVID-19 mRNA injections, LPNs, systemically circulate and are taken up into vital organ systems, resulting in body-wide toxic spike protein production. Biodistribution studies should have been performed before mass vaccinations. Oh my God. I mean, like, what a fucking.
No, you do not need. No, okay, YouTube, I will state for the record, the WHO and CDC said they didn't need the studies. So we obviously, regardless of what this study says, this study is flawed.
Yes.
And
yes, of course,
we did not need to study these. These injections were safe and effective for everyone. And any study that states any conclusion such as this is a poorly done study, and these people should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Yes.
It's my opinion. We're just reading this to show people how unreal the science organizations have become in insinuating that these shots are not 100% safe and effective, because they are.
Mice. Eight mice.
Nicholas Holscher, you are a piece of shit. We do not like you.
Yes. 8 mice.
Because the CDC said it was safe and effective for everyone, and that's what it is. And also the FDA, and that is why They told everyone to take it, and they're putting on the childhood schedule for shots because it's safe and effective. And just some more misinformation. This posted by one of my good friends, Ed Clay Official. I was on his podcast. Phenomenal guy. Had me over at his house. Great guy. I would like to read this garbage that I disagree with greatly. The largest C19 V word safety study ever conducted involving 99 million V'd individuals confirmed that the injections are, this is wrong, but they say this misinformation is saying that they're not safe. They dramatically increase the risk of, now this is Nicholas talking, this isn't us. We disagree with him. We take the side of the CDC and WHO because they are always correct.
100% all the time.
All these are incorrect, by the way, for the record, but we're going to read them just in parody of how silly this insinuation is. So I'm going to go to, I'm literally like my nose is growing right now and I can't afford any bigger of a nose. Like, anyway, up to a 610% increased risk of myocarditis following mRNA platform injection, which of course is wrong.
Yeah,
this study is wrong. 378% increased risk of acute disseminated encephalitis. Can you pronounce that?
ADEM.
Yeah, thank you. ADEM following mRNA injection. Here's another point that they're wrong about. 323% increased risk of cerebral venous sinus thrombosis following viral vector injection. 249% increased risk of Guillain-Barré syndrome, GBS, following viral vector. Now, I would like to say that 378%, it's not a lot.
No.
10%, hardly noticeable. A 610% increase in myocarditis risk. Come on, guys. That is statistically insignificant.
Yeah. Just so small.
That doesn't even chart. That doesn't even chart.
I just to point out how ridiculous it is. Remember 3 or 4 weeks ago, before the fires happened in LA, how all of a sudden bird flu was going to be the next pandemic. Notice how they fucking forgot about that. They literally just fucking forgot about it.
What happened to the bird flu? I was trying to get it. I was over there making out with birds.
Here's what happened. The same thing happened with like the flu Rona and shit like that, where they were trying to scare the fuck out of people with it. And then they realized people didn't give a fuck no more. So therefore they dropped it and went on to something else. You know, I hate to point this pattern out, right? But Jeffrey Epstein kills himself in prison, right? And then Joe Rogan literally starts saying, hey, he didn't kill himself. And then it became a thing. Like people were like saying it as much as they can. Epstein didn't kill himself. Epstein didn't kill himself. Epstein didn't kill himself. And then a few months later, all of a sudden we have COVID, right? And now it's like they're trying any fucking thing they goddamn can to distract from what's going on. You know what I mean? Like
this is me right now.
Yeah, trying to get
that's guys. That's how you get the bird flu. You make out with pigeons.
Making out with pigeons. Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's bad. He can make out with pigeons. He's rich, and
dude.
He's
but I mean that's how you get the bird flu.
Yeah.
How do you get monkeypox, Alan?
I believe that is anal sex, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So does that be anal?
I don't know. I don't know because monogamous married man. I couldn't get like as soon as they said this, like I don't even give a shit what the CDC says anymore. Sorry, CDC. Because you guys are 100% right. But I don't even.
Well, that's why we don't give a shit. We just take what they have.
We just take what they have. Like, but when we're at this stage where our public health officials literally there's nothing that we should view public health officials, like all kidding aside. Public health officials have proven over the last 40 years that they either are completely incompetent or they want you sick, fat, weak, and dependent upon them. I more along the lines go for the second because they literally corrupt science. They literally corrupt the data. Like
who funds them?
And who funds them, right? The WHO funds them and Fauci funds them and things like that. there's no way you can possibly convince me that in the last 40 years, when the Rockefeller healthcare system has been the majority of what healthcare is, and they demonize supplements and naturopathy, there's no way that we should accept that they know what the fuck they're doing, or that they're not trying to make us sick, when we have gotten so much sicker in the last 40 years than we've ever fucking been as a species before in America. The rest of the world is not like this. There's a reason why people come over here and like, God damn, you people are fat and sickly. There's a reason why. Because we are, you know. How many friends do you have that go, like, they go for trips overseas and they're like, you know, I ate everything over there and I lost weight?
Well, I think a lot of that has to do with, excuse me, so I'm not going to say it's an ingredient. I'm going to say it's ultra processed foods that are non-satiating. Where you go. So here's a story. I'm doing this a lot lately. I apologize. There's a guy, genetically elite, right? Genetically elite, guys like 6'5", playing the NFL for like 8 years. So we train at the same gym. He's like, hey man, you know, I've never had to worry but you know, I just want to look good and feel good. I'm like, well, what do you eat now? Like, do you get enough protein? Yeah. Well, and he's like, what do I do for carbs? I'm like, well, have you ever thought of just like switching over to all fruits and vegetables? He's like, really? I'm like, yeah. Have you ever tried to eat 1,000 calories from bananas? It's like, is that even possible? I said, no. So he comes to me after like 4 days. He's like, I'm down a few pounds and I'm eating more than ever. I think I am. I'm like, no, you're eating less calories than ever. You're just eating more food than ever. So, and also when you go overseas, like, our society is not very mobile. Like, humans are I just did a video on why I'm starting to run multiple times a week, because humans should be able to move. We're bipeds, right? So I'm like, you go to another country and their form of transportation, in Italy, they walk a lot. So a lot of these stories come from Italy. Italy, they walk a lot. They're walking all over the place. They focus on sleep. They take siestas. They eat whole foods, which are full of beautiful things. Like, there's studies on olive oil that people literally kept their diet the same, but they would but they drink extra olive oil and they'd actually lose weight because these polyphenols and all these crazy things. So you know, weight loss is mainly calories in, calories out, which we found from Ozempic, but there is other layers of fat loss. So satiation, polyphenols, different things that work with your body. And I don't have an answer for why. And I read a recent study where people simply added honey to their diet, increased their calories, and they actually lost weight. Wow. It's a fascinating thing. And I think we're still, I think we're still learning about it. I think we are still learning about how food works in the body and how things happen. And I don't think we're even close to scratching the surface on how to optimize your body. And that's why I'm like, guys, hold off on taking GLPs, hold off on taking Ozempic, because there might be a way. And I think the number one thing is that before you go on Ozempic, try the carnivore diet.
Yeah.
And also another thing about and let's say, well, I need carbs, I train hard. Cool. Try the animal-based diet, which is basically meat and fruit and honey. Yeah. I guarantee you this. I was listening to Peter Attia while I was in the cold plunge the other day, and he was talking about the carnivore diet with another fella. I forgot his name, a researcher. And one of the reasons that people lose weight on the carnivore diet is sheer exhaustion from eating. You just can't chew enough fucking meat to eat the calories it takes to be a fat fuck. Right. So he didn't say fat fuck. That was my word. I just want to say Peter Attia is much more eloquent than me.
Yes.
But yeah, it's one of those things where I'm just starting to, and even me as someone who spent his life researching food and weight gain and weight loss and in the recent like 5 to 10 years longevity, because I was a fat kid, you were a fat person, right? Like so that takes a metabolic toll, and we could have. So the key is like, did we take years off our lives? Probably. I mean, we still put our body through metabolic stress. But how can we optimize where we gain some of those years back? Not meaning we're not going to age, but instead of aging at 1.6 years per year, let's say metabolic age, if that even exists, what if we can age 0.6 years per year? What if we can age? And that guy I talked about yesterday, the guy who wants to live to 150, whatever. Like that's his
young
thing,
rectum.
Yeah, he has a very young rectum.
Yeah.
Is that he's aging at like, I think he measured it like he's reversing it or some shit like that. But I'm not talking about reversing our age. Like, how can we optimize the rest of our lives? Where let's say we chopped it down 10 years, but we were supposed to live to 100. So we're down to 90. How can we slow it down? We live to 92 or 93, but how do we not affect our daily lives? Like, I don't want to be like this guy where I'm waking up, I'm fucking sitting in a pod for an hour. No, I just want to work out because I like to do it and I like to be jacked. And I want to live a long, healthy life. Does cold exposure help? Does heat? My sauna's heating up right now for when I'm done. You know, it's like, how do these things, how can we add years on our life? So I think, guys, before you take any drastic movements like GLP-1s, which I'm pretty sure are not going to increase your lifespan. I think they're going to have a toll metabolically. I think they're going to hurt you. I don't think slowing down digestion is going to have a great long-term effect, no matter what the doctors say. I have no data to back that up. That's just my gut feeling. Slow down. Try the carnivore diet. If you don't want to try that, I think a healthier version of that is an animal-based diet, which is meat, fruit, and honey.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I don't see a problem.
It's very similar to how I eat because I don't go straight carnivore. Like today I had a big ass fucking steak, and I'm probably gonna have some yogurt and berries and some honey, local honey. Local honey is amazing for you too because it actually helps your allergies a little bit too.
Well, yeah, because they pollinate. So you're basically giving yourself a mic. That's the theory. There's no science to back it up. I have 3 articles on that on Tiger Fitness. I've actually written extensively about that.
Nice. So just real quick, the last thing I wanted to talk about, it just came up, right? But for those of you that are watching here, know that Mark and I have this theory that pussy is actually truth serum, right?
Oh, yeah.
And James O'Keefe proves this all the mother fucking time, and he did not fail today. Breaking. Top Pentagon advisor reveals on hidden camera conversation with a couple of retired generals to expose what we can do to, quote, protect people from Trump, end quote. Confirms secret meetings regarding AI, quote, that is sensitive information. We are going to have to keep this between us. He said to the woman he's trying to bang.
Wow.
We don't have time to watch all of it, but let's just go a little bit.
And I work at this top consulting firm.
Bro, were you really thinking you should be sitting down? Like, do you own a mirror? Like, how many dates have you been on? This is Jamie Menina, Senior Advisor, Joint Staff, Department of Defense, soon to be Hillary Clinton victim, former Special Agent of the FBI, former Special Assistant to Hillary Clinton. I bet you Hillary's going to have some words for you.
Firm, and my client is the Pentagon. So I'm embedded in the Pentagon. I work in the Joint Staff, which is the top.
They got this motherfucker on multiple camera angles.
The audio is so clear.
When she lost, I went into the intelligence community and I became an FBI special agent. So I became a spy hunter. So I was a counterintelligence agent, special agent at the FBI.
What's your overall assessment of Trump?
He's a sociopathic narcissist who is only interested in advancing his name, his wealth, and his fame.
Is there anything you can do to protect American people from stuff that he might try to do?
I'm in conversation with a couple of retired generals to try to explore what we can do.
Who were the retired generals that you were going to talk to?
They're 1, 2, or 3 star generals and admirals. You probably know maybe 4 stars. So I also have a big day tomorrow, probably the biggest day of all. So we have this huge meeting with military leaders in a very secure room called the Tank.
Ooh.
So we have a tank meeting with all of the top leaders in the United States military tomorrow on my topic that I prepared.
So it went well.
I think it went well. Very sensitive. information. We're gonna have to keep it between us. I specialize in artificial intelligence and emerging technologies like
I want to see this woman.
Cybersecurity.
Seriously, man. Like fucking seriously.
So here's the deal, man. If a woman on a date is asking you for like interview questions, bro, there's a hidden camera.
Hidden camera.
I mean, dude, there's certain shit I won't talk about. That's it. But like, dude, like, I'm not mad. I'm not mad because it's the most primal. Like, that's a job, right? Like, that's his job. But like, bro, women are just awesome. Like, I am the biggest women proponent. Like, we talked about the polar opposite, like the Andrew Tate thing yesterday, and abusing women. Like, I can't abuse a woman because I am so enamored with the female form. I am biologically driven to be like, man, women are amazing. Like, women are. So this guy he's just a dude. At the end of the day, he's a straight man. He's sitting across. She probably smells good. She looks good. And he's just trying to get to the treasure trove, man. He's trying to he's trying to get behind the curtains, you know, and he's like, okay, I think I have a chance. So I'm shooting my whole entire shot here. I'm going to talk about some real impressive shit. Yeah. Like, I'm literally running shit here. Like, I'm going to that special meeting. Like, it is the most important meeting in the country's history. Bro, I'm not mad. Like, dude's just shooting a shot. Like,
he's just shooting a shot.
But I mean, how many times are they going to fall for it?
That's what I don't understand. Like, how many times are they going to fall for it? I mean, this is, and here's my thought process. How many times has this guy shot this shot with other people too? You know, like,
I don't think he has the opportunity. Like, this girl's so far out of his league. Like, he's like, oh my God, this is it. I'm finally going to get this. I'm going to get some fucking, she's probably an 8. She's got to be an 8, right? Yeah. I'm going to get some 8. And like, getting an 8 is hard to do. And this guy's like, I'm not stopping at anything. He probably went in there with the thought like, yeah, I'm not going to talk about that shit. But then like, he's in that moment and she's all hot and shit. And he's like, yep, this is time.
Yep.
I'm going. Like, you just get caught up in the moment. I'm not mad. Like, man, if my wife asked me some dumb shit before sex, I'd agree to it. Hey, I need you to build a new house in the backyard. Done. Done. Can we go now? Like, are you ready? Like, can you pretend to like it a little bit? Like,
oh, come on. Too funny.
Yeah, it's too funny. O'Keefe is the man. I liked when he pretended to be gay. That was my favorite one. Like, dude straight pretended to be gay to get the scoop.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was like, I'm going to have this conversation, and that's fucking perfect, man. That's absolutely perfect. Cause that's how journalism should be. Like, they'll do anything. Like, remember when they used to like go to war zones and shit like that? Now it's like, they fake it, you know,
bro, they're so bad at it too. My favorite is, Anderson Cooper in the water and the guy's standing there in regular shoes at the edge of the water.
Fucking hilarious. Hilarious.
Man,
right,
so we are back tomorrow, and I don't know what the fuck we're going to talk about. I don't even know what we talked about today. I don't know where this went, but we did talk about the topic.
Yeah, this is also the ones I think we had the most fun with. Is we just talk like, because I think that the audience just they get so much scripted shit and so much like by the narrative shit, and we just like fucking let the ADHD fly, you know, and I love it.
We talk about substantive things, though. I think things that people, and we talk about things people might not know about, you know, and also when we get a chance to go into health and obviously our love for the CDC and WHO, I think that's things that we can all have discussions about, because I don't think people support the WHO and the CDC enough. Whatever we could do to promote their agenda, that's what we're here for, guys.
I agree.
We are shills for the WHO and the CDC. We love them.
I love them. I wish they'd hire me.
I do wish
I for real do wish they'd hire me. But I thought I would take us out with a different type of video tonight. first of all, go to Amazon, go to ambrosiacollective.com, use the code MFACOO, or use the code MAHA and get 50% off all the packages that we have going on to make yourself healthy again this year. Go over to Tiger Fitness and use the code MAHA to get 10% off your entire order. For any of your supplement needs, MTS Nutrition Whey Protein is the best tasting whey protein I've ever had my mouth on. And I am not going to say
is the best plant protein. Plant protein.
Absolutely. So please do check those out. But I thought, since we talked about earlier that there should be a redneck in the White House, I thought I would pull something up from my good friend Jeff McCool and play a video of his for us. This is from 12 years ago.
Let's do it. Oh, Lord.
You know, I was always told not to debate religion or politics, but I got to get a few things off my chest. We just need to take it back to a simpler time. You know what I mean? We need to make a change. Need a redneck in the White House, because we're ready for a change. Need a redneck in the White House, because we're tired of playing games. Need a redneck in the White House, so y'all don't be afraid to put a redneck in the White House and take back the USA. Hank said it best, yeah, we need some change. Turn that White House lawn into a shooting range. Duck bombs by the pool tree, stand in the back, no Air Force One, just a Chevy with a gun rack. Blue chick and a beagle on the porch, no suits and ties, white beater and some jean shorts. Rednecks make the world go round. President David Allen Cole, how's that sound? Sounds fine, let him make their calls. Camouflage in the halls, books mounted on the walls. A redneck, he can make it right. And you know a redneck's always ready to fight. Need a redneck in the White House, cause I'm ready for a change. Need a redneck in the White House, cause we're tired of playing games. Need a redneck in the White House, so y'all don't be afraid to put a redneck in the White House and take it back the USA. We all know an old man like Eddie Seals, got a big old beard and lives back in the hills. You know the one that'll talk all day and tell you everything wrong with the USA. Just a good old boy that got it all figured out, but the people won't hear what he's talking about. But I know it's true, every word he says. Sky high gas price, the economy's dead. He can fix it all if you give him a try. We can work it all out with just a dirt road fish fry. We the people, what comes next? More crime, more dying, you can fix it with a redneck. Need a redneck in the White House, cause I'm ready for a change. Need a redneck in the White House, cause we're tired of playing games. Need a redneck in the White House, so y'all don't be afraid to put a redneck in the White House and take back the USA. Y'all.
My name is Eddie Seals, and I approve this message.
Need a redneck in the White House, cause we're ready for a change. Need a redneck in the White House, cause we're tired.
All right, if you want to go watch the rest of it, it's Moccasin Creek, one of my very, very, very good friends. Cool. He has a lot of really interesting songs. He's a great guy. I love that man to fucking death. Been friends with him for about 10 years, like shortly after that video came out. But please do follow us. And please, one more time, here is an ad for the help support Mark and I, because we come here to swear at all of you motherfuckers for free every night.
That's what we do.
The Holy Trinity Bundle isn't just about weight loss. It's about empowering you to find your healthiest, happiest self. Let's talk about what's in the bundle and how it caters specifically to our needs. First, we got Ember, which is not just any fat burner. It's also going to boost your mood, your energy levels, while also suppressing your appetite. And if you're worried about it being too strong, you can split the tablet in half to tailor its impact. Next, we have Alchemy NCT, which turns the carbs that you eat into energy and not fat. Yes, energy, not fat. This is our way of making sure that the meals that you eat contribute positively to your weight loss journey. And girls, we all know that we want that. And finally, no morbidity. This one's my favorite because it works while you sleep. It burns fat and controls those nighttime cravings without any stimulants, so you wake up feeling refreshed. Try it out and feel the genuine difference. Here's to new beginnings and real results.